Hello, everyone. My name is Isioma Success Olubenga, and you are on to the Impact Life Show again. This episode is one that would help shed more light onto how we can always make impact every day with our lives. Today, I have on the show an amazing person. Her name is Mrs. Dayo Oladele-Ilori. She's going to be sharing an insightful chronicles of her impact from the days when she was consulting and just building women, and now onto how she's moved from doing that to raising boys and also women with all that she's doing with her impact network. I want you to sit tight and get into the mood today, because today we are going to be having an amazing time learning and being inspired on the show. Remember, this show is all about making impact and showing you, inspiring everyone that comes on air, how just inspiring people to know how to make impact and to just hold your hand through the journey of impact, help you answer the questions that probably trouble your heart on how you can make impact, how you can live a life of impact, how you can turn whatever you've been through, whatever experiences you've had, into a well of impact for other people. Remember, we always say that everyday people can make impact every day. So get your friends together, share this video, and make them come and watch us. We are live on our Facebook page. I don't know where you're watching us from. Please drop a comment below and let us know exactly where you're watching us from. From any part of the world you're watching us from, we want to know and we want to welcome you to the show. And just to usher in, just before I usher in our guest, I would like us to also recognize or just say this again, because I know that okay, we're back. Oh, fantastic. We're back. I don't know where I lost you, but I was saying before the network went off that this show is every Tuesday. It airs every Tuesday on Facebook and YouTube. And we would love you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Subscribe on our YouTube channel. It'll be great to have you on and to have you watch the programs, the past broadcasts and the recent ones again and again. Like I said, today is a beautiful day, and I'm hosting on the show today an amazing woman. She's a woman that when I think about, she's so inspiring in the way she lives her life. She's so inspiring in the way she talks and walks the talk with what she does with women and boys. And just to not waste your time today, and just going straight to the crust of the show today, I want to introduce someone to you. Her name, like I said, is Mrs. Dayo Oladele-Ilori. She is the founder of We Lead Network, and she's also a managing partner of Carvadine Management Consulting, where she does her work with human capital development, and also what she does with We Lead is amazing. So today I'll just go straight to it and have her. Yes, she's here. Yes, I was just telling our guest about you. That's the guest for the day. Her name is Dayo Oladele-Ilori. You're welcome on the show, my dear sis.
Thank you very much, Isioma. It's nice to be on the show. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're going to surmount it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
we're going
here.
to surmount this network challenges today. Are you still
Okay.
there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Are you still there? Can you
Yes,
hear
I'm here.
me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Okay, as you see on the scroll, you just go to YouTube, click that link, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch the show over and over and over again. Yes. Are you there? Can you
Yes,
hear
I'm
me?
here. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, while she tries to figure it out, um, I'll read our profile very quickly. I'll read our profile very quickly to us. But like you know, on the show, we always would want our guests to introduce themselves to us. And so today, even though I'll just read our profile to you, she also will be telling us a lot about herself and her journey and her impact journey. So Dayo Oladele-Ilori is a management consultant, a training facilitator, a writer, and an entrepreneur. She is the author of three books: You Shall Be Fruitful, Cruel Passion, and The Little Sunflower. She has over 75 published articles online in the newspapers. She has a special interest in social enterprise and leads the operations of We Lead, an NGO focusing on boys and women. She is managing partner at Cravadine. Uh, like I said to you, this woman has a lot of experience with consulting. She has a lot of experience with consulting and management, but she's brought all of that experience into the box to serve women and children. Like I always say on this show, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted by the network issues. Just focus. We're going to have a great time today. That's going to be sorted out, and we're going to have a wonderful time on the show. Dayo Oladele-Ilori brings all of our management and consulting and human capital development skills into the box to make impact for women and children. And I know that the program they recently launched an academy for boys, and she told me about how the people that are just registered into that academy, young boys from all over the world that they are mentoring already. She's doing an amazing work because I don't want to say all of those stories. This network is not coming up well, but I don't want to say her story. I want her to say the story by herself, how she journeyed through all of this to becoming that person that she is today, making impact for boys and children, in the life of boys and children. Like I always would say, also, you and I are not, there's no one is essentially left out in this thing. No one. We are all made for impact. We all are made for impact. Some of us are made for some special things. Some of us are made for, those things that others call mundane, or we even call mundane ourselves. So until we begin to see impact in those things, we do not actually wedge the influence that God has ordained us to wedge as people on the planet. So many things are going wrong in our communities, in our societies, but we must understand that we are here and we are here to make a difference. We're not here to join the complaint wagon of just complaining about what is not right and what needs to be right and who needs to do what. We are here to make an impact. We are here to make an impact. And today, we are going to be encouraged to make that impact within the things that we are doing right now or the things that we will begin to do from now. So again, I would let's see. I okay. Okay, so I'll just keep talking um, about impact generally until time permits us permits um, Dayo Oladele-Ilori to join us. Okay, great. Until time permits her to join us, I trust that the show is still going to be a great show today. So just stay with us. Um, I'll talk briefly. I'll just go straight to talking briefly about something that I call your impact DNA. Your impact DNA. And what is your impact DNA? What's that thing that is, as the word DNA is, it's that special thing like a differentiator, the differentiator that makes you and I different, the thing that is the component that makes me different from you, and that makes me who I am, that has the compo like I don't have the dictionary meaning of DNA. This is just on the spur of the moment, but it's something that you that makes you and I unique and distinct. That's our DNA. So for me, I call it your impact DNA, that thing that separates you from me, that makes you unique from me, because I can make impact in a particular way, but the impact that you can make, I may not be able to make. And sometimes people say, okay, but we all sometimes we're making, and that's the mistake some people in the nonprofit and even in business do. So you're making an impact in an area. You're making an impact, for instance, in the life of children. I once spoke to a friend of mine, and she honestly confessed to me, and she said to me, she said, Isioma, I like children, but there are specific kind of children that I'm drawn to. And it sounded like people would honestly want or desire that, okay, everybody should be drawn to malnourished children that are from very less privileged homes and all. She said no. She said, I'm drawn to children that are well brought up. That's the children that I'm drawn. And I'm drawn to children that are willing to receive, to be groomed, in that manner. So maybe she would even be the one that would groom even people that, quote and unquote, whether they are less privileged or so. She doesn't even see children as less privileged or not less privileged. What she sees is an opportunity to groom them. What she sees when she sees children, she sees the children as groomed. She wants them to be groomed. She wants them in a particular manner. She wants to see children, be able to behave appropriately. And that's something that is not all of us. We all don't have to go to the orphanages. We all don't have to go to the slums. Some people would have to raise children, even whether they are in the slums or in the orphanage, raise them to be responsible citizens, probably imbibing etiquette, good behavior, good ways of dressing, no matter what it is they're dressing in. So we all need to know exactly what it is that we are here to do. And everyone has a prince. I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria. And there's something that we call akalaka, and the Igbo speaking would understand. Is the marks on the palm of our hands. The marks on the palm of our hands are different. They are very different. They're very different. They create, it's from it that you have the thumbprints and the fingerprints. They're so different. And so by this, we know that each of us, there is something different we are here to do. There is something different we are here to do. And we must not despise it. We must not undermine it. We must recognize it. We must recognize it. Sometimes we recognize it by supporting something that looks like it.
Can you
So
hear me
you might
now?
be there and you don't quite understand what it is that you're here to do,
Yeah.
but something looks like it. You can begin by supporting something that looks like what you're here to do. But I tell you, it might not even be that exact thing that you're here to do. It might be a dimension of the thing that you're already supporting that that the other person is not quite doing or is not even interested in doing.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, so ah uh, 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 uh.
Can you hear me now?
I guess today,
Can you hear me now?
today, Lord, you would help us today.
I'm on the show. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
My guest is having a lot of difficulties coming up. I don't know why. So, like I was saying, today I'm hoping that, with all that I've talked about, the fingerprints, the DNA, we all will recognize that we are here to make a difference. And each of us have something different that we are here to do. Each of us, we have something different that we are here to do. Each of us
Can
have
you hear me?
something
Can
different
you hear me?
that we are here to do.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So
Can
give
you
me
hear
a
me?
minute. I'm just going to try to see what's wrong with what my guest is okay. Hmm. You need to indulge us a lot today.
I can hear you.
Okay. Please go. Okay. So I'm told that she can be heard. Okay. So I guess, okay. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you speak?
Hello, hello, hello. I can hear you. I've been here all along. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me? What's going on?
Okay, fantastic. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Wow. What an adventure with this, with Nigerian and network issues. Oh, okay. All right, so we'll just start from where we had stopped earlier, and I was just, I'd introduced you to the guest, and I was trying to just rabble around, just talking about different things, that help
Okay.
to bring us closer to the work of impact. I'll just have you tell us about who Dayo is. Tell us about who you are and your journey.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Dayo Oladele-Ilori. I'm a management consultant. I'm a learning and development specialist. I work in the consulting area of business. However, some few years ago, about 3 years ago, I just found myself very much attracted to the social impact enterprise. And this journey began when I was called to lead um, a summit in Douala, Cameroon. I led that summit as the executive director, Women in Leadership, and that summit hosted a lot of women and a lot of women across different industries, the banking industry, the oil and gas, and so many industries. Automobile was a very beautiful summit. And above all, what actually came out of that summit was the mentor-mentee network, which was established that year in Douala. And that has been running for 3 years successfully. And so when I was leaving Cameroon after that summit, a lot of people were happy and they felt, oh, take this back to Nigeria and start something. And when I came back to Nigeria, of impacting was, where I saw the gap was the boys. I just felt, above all, yes, I want to work with women, but where I really see the gap is the boys. Who is talking to the boys? Who is talking to the boys? Who is grooming the boys? Most of the time, when you look at the crime rate in Nigeria, you will find out that 3/4 of them is perpetrated by males. When you go to the correctional centers around the country, you'll find out that almost 70% of occupants of correctional centers are male. When you compare ratio of girls in correctional centers to that of boys, it is also similar. So I asked myself, why not play in that area where we see the gap? So that is how we came about giving back to the lead. We Need Network is the network that caters for both boys and women. In the area of boys, we have done so much. We have done quite a lot. We started our journey from the Correctional Center for Boys in Oregon, where we had a year engagement with the boys. We were going there every other Saturday to talk to them for almost a year. The courses we covered while there included leadership, emotional intelligence, communication, critical thinking, failing forward, delayed gratification, peer pressure, and a whole lot. And we even took them on a journey of when boys cook. That was when we started our When Boys Cook, where we taught them how to bake, we taught them how to make juices. And in the next correctional center, the one in Isheri, where we also spent about 3 months working with the boys, we also took the same courses and we also did When Boys Cook. However, this time around, we taught them how to make soap, and this was supported by another member of the Willy Network who is in that area. So it's been a beautiful journey for the women. Yes, When we started a program called Women Unlocked, which was hosted by Accelerate TV, Access Bank. We ran that roundtable twice, where we talked about finance for general finance for women, and we also talked about women in leadership. Women, is it destructive? Is it progressive? When women are free, when women are given the reign of power. Those two outings were very profound. And from there, we're also already building something around for women. For the boys this year, our aim, last year we were able to reach over 3,000 members of the community. 90% of them were boys, which were in the two correctional centers we worked in and 32 secondary schools in Lagos State where we
Wow.
worked, where we reached out to boys. We were teaching. And in the for the boys this year, we had lofty plans, of course, because our classes are physical. So we had done our strategy. We had mapped out the number of schools we were going until March when COVID-19, just crept in and changed the whole strategy. And yes, we said, oh, we've been wanting to go online. It was just an opportunity of church by the pandemic. And here we are today. We just launched We Lead Boys Academy. We Lead Boys Academy is amazing. It's in its first month. And we already have over 35 boys in the school. Now, this is an online school, hosted online, where boys take 10 courses, 10 straight courses for 30 days. It's a 30 days challenge. They are taking through courses, delayed gratification, failing forward, masculinity and sexuality, substance abuse, leadership and communication. And we do something very special. We also take them through projects per course. They do a particular project. So for instance, for peer pressure, we have asked them to express peer pressure in art, poetry, music, graphics, painting. For the delayed gratification, we are undergoing a 30-day savings challenge. So all of these come together with when the boys cook, the boys are cooking online. So every Friday we cook and they send in their pictures and videos of what they have cooked and we're sharing. And this will be assessed by a master chef who is going to tell us who wins every week. So these are some of the things they have put together, which is making our impact more successful. And I must tell you, breaking down the borders with the online class has been quite amazing for me because we have boys from Canada, we have boys from UK, we have boys from the US, we have boys from Ghana, we have boys from Nigeria. So you can, it's very inspiring, very fulfilling when you then see them turning in their assignment. We are marking them, we are assessing them, and we are seeing results. On the part of the women, we are going to launch a program before the end of the year. In fact, we're supposed to launch it in September. I hope WBA doesn't take over as usual. And it's called The Nest. The Nest is a peer-to-peer learning platform where we have not started mentoring. We want to peer-to-peer. So you and I, Isioma, we can be in the nest and help each other grow. We can help our business grow. We can help. So it's going to be a group of women who are peers, learning from each other, leaning on each other for support professionally, family life, etc. But it's going to be very unique, a close group where we intend to really bond. It's going to be quite intimate. Then we would help each other grow and achieve results. So call it an accountability partner kind of thing. Then you will not be far from it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your heart. There's so much to learn from everything you're doing. I know that we've had some breaks in between, and I am hoping that our viewers were able to pick a couple of things from what you talked about. I want you to kind of throw a bit of some light on how exactly you got here. I don't know if you have talked about it and I didn't hear it in what did you say anything in that regard? I know I missed a few things. Did you say something in that regard?
Okay, so how did we get here? So when
How did you get here? How did your journey begin? At what point did you become conscious of the fact that, this thing is something that you would really want to drive and make a difference about? Yes.
okay, I would say in 2016, I started having that strong urge. I mean, I just saw the missing link. Each time people talk about girls, and the UN is so focused on the female gender. So I
Mm-hmm.
always ask this question, why not boys? Why not boys? And I remember a particular incident in my church where I had a conversation with a friend. And I told her that a lot of boys are daily raped by girls, by women, and that we just pretend as if these things don't happen. And because the way the society has wired these boys not to express their emotions, most of them bottle
Mm,
it, and when they grow up, they take their frustration out on the next woman they meet, whether it's their wife or their colleague or a sister or a neighbor. And then you have an irate man living in your neighborhood whom you are afraid to
yeah.
even go around. So this, I
Mhm.
know she said, oh, she went ballistic. What do I mean? That boys are raped. What do I mean? How can you
Wow.
rape a boy? I couldn't believe it. But to tell
Mm,
you, I think a few months after that discussion, I started writing in the newspaper about my own
mm,
focus on boys. I started with a particular article, The Dough, the Oven, and the Bread, where I explained the boys are being dough, we, the society, has been oven, and the bread, what the men that we see today are like the bread. So the way we knead them, the way we mold them, the way we teach them, these boys that we have, is the output we'll get in the men. And after that,
mm,
I think a few months later, the same lady brought TVC and said I needed to be on air to express my desire to run. And then, if I had not, we had not started running the NGO officially then. But that was where some of some of the very profound situations that I can remember that continued to push
mm,
me to do what I'm doing today. For me, the voices that are speaking about boys are not enough. Our
mm,
impression about boys becoming men are a bit, are a bit misconstrued. They're not clear to us. There are a lot of assumptions that people
mm.
take and in raising their boys. For instance, people will tell you, majority believes boys should not cry.
Yeah.
Boys should not cry. I've had a teacher, one of my son's teacher, tell me that, and I have to sit her down to say, you know what? Boys
Mm.
are allowed to cry. When
Yes.
people battle emotions, they take that frustration out somehow. They don't
Yeah.
just let it release, and it may be released positively, or then it may become toxic to the society. So a lot of societal norms, thinking, cultural beliefs have shaped the way we have continued to raise boys. So
True.
those are some of the things that opened my own mind to we must focus on the boys.
Great. So it's, I take it that a lot of the encounters that brought you into the space is more of the situational encounters of the things that you have heard and seen. And I like the fact that, even though at the time it seemed far-fetched to begin to create a change by yourself, you found something, because I like to connect the dots when I speak with the guest. Especially because I want people to see dots. And one of the things that I picked from what you said is that I know you're a writer. The world, writing became a tool for you to communicate. And that is what you began to do even before you said, before the NGO was even registered. You began to write about these issues. So it tells me something. It tells me that each of us have a tool in our hands. There are things that, so you may not be able to be, you're not the president. You can't change what the president can change. You can change what the governor can change. But there is something you can that you can use in making that change while you begin to, and you said, it was very profound that you said was the same person that got you an opportunity to speak at channels, right?
At TVC.
At TVC, sorry, at TVC. It was the same person because the person had seen what I began to become educated, which is, I tell people a lot that because advocacy begins to speak even before you.
Okay, so hopefully we'll get through this today. So like I said, I don't know where I missed it. Yeah, so I said, you began to use a tool, which was writing, to
Yes.
speak and to create an advocacy for what you were thinking about and what your heart was trotting, your heart was speaking to you about. And
Yes.
that's what I said about a lot of people that you're out there. You can begin to write on your timeline, begin to write something, begin to communicate, and you might be able to change one or two or three people's minds about what you carry as your own impact, strength, your own impact gifts to the world. I also want you to talk about what on this. I want you to talk about, to tell us really, because you said so much about boys and about the fact that a lot of boys, contrary to what we believe, in this part of the world, are also vulnerable. So can you talk to parents on this show on how, I'm sure in your interaction with boys, you've had conversations with them, you've had, what do you think is the greatest need of a young boy out there? What do you think is the greatest need of a young man? Because there are so many of them around us, and there are so many men that don't even know that these issues are very critical. Can you speak to a parent, speak to an uncle, speak to someone that can influence a woman? Because all of these things happen from the home. So even the women, we have boys around us, we have boys we can influence. Speak to us all. Yes, speak to us all about influencing and just impacting boys in our communities.
Okay. Thank you very much. So when the pandemic started, when it became very very obvious that we were not going to be able to go to schools physically, we started thinking. The first thing that came to our mind, which was very much on demand, was for us to speak to parents. And before WBA, which is the Boys Academy, we started the webinar for parents. In fact, by the third webinar, that was when we then began the WBA on request also. So we started the first class we did, the second one, by the second class, which was on masculinity, sexuality, and emotional intelligence, it was clear to parents that there were so many missing links in the puzzle of raising a boy. Let me give you an instance. Many times, the way we treat our girls, it's easy for us to hug our girls. It's easy for us. Somebody even mentioned that when we are dressing for girls, we take so much we pay so much attention. We put their ribbon, we put the chain, we powder their faces. We take extra and you care. Not because we don't care about the boys, but because we just think, oh, just wear your shirt and your trousers and off you go. So the way we view our boys, starting from mere hugs. How many of us hug our boys, shows them emotion? Because when we say boys are not emotional, the first way they learn emotion is the way we also relate. So how do we relate to? Do you take time to? Are you confident to tell your boys that, oh, I love you, I admire you? Do you build that kind of rapport with them? In one of the articles I wrote years back, and I probably that the most popular. Well, I think so. The most popular of my article, Letter to My Son, was an article that even people who I didn't know from anywhere across the world reached out to me. And why did I write this letter? When my son was heading to the secondary school, I felt I needed to have some conversation with him. But trust me, as a parent, I was in a tight corner. How do I open up on talking about sex with my son, an 11-year-old? How do I open up about talking about boundaries in relationships with girls? How do I start talking about masculinity does not mean strength, does not mean your ability to beat up another person? How do I demystify it? I programmed hopelessly, and trust me, I did the talking eventually. But I felt, a lot of parents are in this space where they cannot even face their sons to talk about this pressing issue. How many people have called their son to say, when was your first wet dream? How many parents are aware? But most parents are aware of the first menstrual flow of a girl because they will come. But because we do not prepare their mind to know that when this happens, it will come to me, they never come to us. We treat them as men even before they become men.
Yeah.
While they are boys, we don't allow them to be boys. We will say, man up, be a man, be strong, men don't cry. To a boy who is just growing, how does he process being a man? Being a man requires responsibility. These boys are merely still growing out of their diapers. They need us to guide them. So parents should start from building the emotions of their boys. That is one. Two, the entitlement mentality that we accrue to boys in this society of ours is huge. When you see a boy and a girl in the home, the first person that gets the chores is the girl. The first person that is allowed to go to the kitchen, that's their traditional role, is the girl. The first person that is allowed to go to the market is the girl. The boy is in front of the TV or is somewhere playing games, believing and also guy is a boy. No, he's a boy. So build that entitlement mentality, which then transcends to other areas. It's this same entitlement mentality that will make a boy look at a girl and say, I need to rape this girl because I have a right to it. It's the same entitlement mentality that when you give a boy something, he will say, oh, no, this top is not nice enough. I must wear this design. This is what my friends are wearing. Because we have so built them to believe that, they are more than, we place so much premium on that gender that they then lose focus. So let's start with at least teach them emotion. Let them know it's okay to cry. Hug them, listen to them. Secondly, ensure you do not build an entitlement mentality out of your son. How do you do
Mm.
that? Ensure that first they start taking responsibility early.
Mm.
Involve them in your business. When they start taking responsibility early, and I tell the boys in the room, it's from when you walk, maybe your book is on the floor, you walk past it. That's the beginning
Yeah,
of your responsibility.
true. Yeah.
That's the beginning of your responsibility. When you see your
Mm-hmm.
things on the floor, you cannot take ownership of your own things. Then you can't take
Mm-hmm.
for others.
Ownership
Then
for others.
let them get involved in your business early. So if you're a watchman or you're a dry
Mm.
cleaner, whatever it is, if you go out every day, find time to take your children to where you work. Let them
Mm.
know what to do. I experienced
Mm.
that firsthand with my parents. My parents had poultry, a poultry farm, and we worked there. We worked there. We dressed the chicken, we fed them, we packed the dung, everything you can imagine. We did.
Mm.
That helped me early to build my resilience, to
Mm-hmm.
build my I don't have any sense of entitlement because that is how we were groomed. That was
That's
how
right.
we so it helped me to, kind of manage my expectations about life,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
manage how I perceive things around me.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think, oh, people, everything should fall on my lap. I have that
Mm-hmm.
sense of get up and take ownership. So these are some of the things that are
Mm.
missing in
Yeah.
our raising of boys. Also, let
Mm.
them get domesticated. And that is why we began When Boys Cook. And you need to hear
Mm.
the testimony just 1 week, just one
Mm.
meal. And the parents are telling me that, oh, do you know that now they are begging to do chores?
Wow.
They are begging to do chores. Now, a friend of mine, her son cooked fried rice. So, I mean, a very nice, wonderful dish, sausages
Mm.
and all of that. All we see is just tasting the picture. We can't taste it.
That's right.
You know that
Mm.
now she can confidently send him to the kitchen to make fried
Mm.
rice for.
Mm.
So these are
Mm.
some of the testimonies that, and so that kind of boy will not wake up and tell his wife in the future that the kitchen is alien to me. No, he
Yeah.
won't do that. He won't do that
Mm.
because he has, I mean, the mother is beginning to inculcate that into him.
Mm.
He won't see
That's right.
anything out of this world when he enters the kitchen. I mean, when he's asked to
Mm-hmm.
do it. These are some of the things I will appeal to parents, to take note when raising their boys.
Fantastic. You've built so much around, this raising of boys and taking responsibility, because really the society that we live in is a reflection of these gaps. Is a reflection of these gaps. If only every one of us will take responsibility from the home to teach and to nurture and to just role model, role model good behavior, role model responsibility to these young men, then they will come out into the society to become better citizens. They will come out to become people that, we can trust girls with. We can trust them with girls, knowing that they are responsible to care and to nurture rather than to molest and to abuse them. So I totally agree with you. And I know that even when we spoke, one of the things you said was that there's so much um, conversations around building the girl child, and you also recognize as an organization that that could also be an ill, for the future. Because just like we are trying to battle with an entitlement mentality for boys, we could also get into a rough of of um, of damaging this, coming back full circle to the point where girls begin to also feel entitled. So I need you to tell us exactly what we lead is doing with respect to helping girls have healthy understanding of these opportunities that they have, and helping them to rather than take it as an entitlement for misbehavior, or take it as an entitlement of some quota system that has been given them and thrown on their laps, but responsibly steward these opportunities in a manner that it's also impactful for another woman? Can you speak on that, please?
Okay. So when raising girls, and I know that a lot of organizations have positioned themselves in the girl space to impart knowledge, you know, in various dimensions to the girls. But I dare say that a lot of messages being passed to these girls sometimes are sometimes contrary or misinterpreted because of the posture of the people working in this area. Let me give you an instance. So most people, because a lot of women have been molested, a lot of girls have been molested, there is a tendency to empower women to say, you know what, don't take this rubbish, don't take this nonsense, you can even live on your own, you can. So the feminism approach, in quote, the feminism approach, which is misconstrued, where girls are empowered such that they cross the boundary to the other side and say, I just want to be on my own, is what is happening today. I have parents who have mature girls ready for marriage who have not gotten married. I'm talking about personal experiences of parents I know who have spoken to me when we started this with this boys academy, saying, when we started a webinar on parenting, saying, please tell parents of boys to nurture their boys well, because these girls are there, they're not able to settle with the crop of boys that are existing. However, in empowering the women, so much so, we still have that entitlement mentality when they now cross the boundary to say, I deserve this, whether I work for it or not. It must fall on my plate. And the UN in empowering women also say, oh, diversity, inclusion, where women, I mean, if you have a board of 5, they expect women to be about 50% of that board, or I think 40%, which is fair. But then you have women who are waiting to be given these roles without deeming it fit to work for it. So as we need, what we believe is to raise performance-driven women. Women who will hold the baton for another woman, women who will raise an army of performance-driven women who will take over a role. So if I'm on a seat in a board, my role as a woman is to preserve that seat for another woman. That is how we believe as we lead network. It's for you to groom another woman. And we are not about women coming together to lament, cry, weep, and have pity party, compassion. No. We believe in taking action. What do you need to succeed? If you share what you need to succeed with me, I may have the leeway for you. I may create the opportunity for you. So as we lead, we are focused on raising performance-driven women who will raise an army of women who will take over the baton from them. So it's not just about, oh, I'm waiting to be given this role. No, whatever role. And we are not saying don't become a housewife. If that is your choice, if you want to raise your kids, staying home permanently, well, it's an option you have taken. But by all means, be effective in that way. Okay.
Fantastic.
So by all means, be effective in whatever role you take.
Great, great. I like the fact that you really true light on the fact that whatever it is, if you've been given a role as a woman, or you're opportune to have a role as a woman, it's not an entitlement, it's just a privilege that you must also give to, preserve by integrity, by good works, and even to be able to hand over the baton. I remember that, I don't want to mention names for the purpose of, and we had women, there were some women leaders in Nigeria particularly, that at some point, when this thing was a bit on the high, women were given opportunities. And I remember, there was a particular episode, and when that opportunity crashed on that woman's hand, a lot of men, I heard a lot of men feedback on the fact that, and you people said we should give you roles, oh, and and now you have it, and see what, in fact, you are doing more than the men. The corruption is even much more than what the men did. So those are conversations that women need to come to points where they recognize that we cannot afford such conversations on our watch. We cannot build women that cannot be cannot have integrity enough to be able to withstand a position, that this quota system or whatever inclusion systems that we are building is giving us as women. We must not throw them. We must not treat them lightly, because eventually that's what will determine whether another woman or another woman and another woman will be qualified, quote and unquote, for that role. Thank you so much, Dayo. Thank you for bringing light to this conversation today. I'm particularly glad that what your organization is doing is quite balancing, in that you're not it, it's not tilting the impact on either gender. You're maximally feeding the right, either gender with what they require, so that they come out, in this in whatever they need to do. They come out as better citizens. They come out, more, better than the way you met them. Because eventually, what we require is not a society where men are more empowered than women. What we require is a society where everyone is empowered, and by that empowerment, we can move the nation, move a society, move our communities forward. So I'm very happy that you're doing this, and you've spoken about it well with our audience today. In conclusion, because we just have a few minutes, we've had a lot of hitches today, but I still thank God, because someone is going to watch this video and is going to just take patiently, be able to glean the very valuable things that you have spoken about today. Thank you so much, Dio. So in closing, I want you to just speak to that person that feels like, yes, you've said all of this, but how do I begin to do? What is that very first thing to do? What is that thing that I should begin to do? And I said it before when we were having hitches, that one of the things you can do really is to volunteer. Is to volunteer. Volunteering is such a big tool to really refine whatever you're here to do in impact. Volunteering with someone that is already doing something, is a I started with volunteering. I started many years ago with volunteering. And in volunteering, I was able to fine tune the things that I wanted to do. I was able to fine tune and understand exactly where I fitted into the impact, to the impact space. What was my own contribution? What was that thing that I was bringing to the table? Over the years in volunteering, I've been volunteering, and also now, over time, managing projects within organizations and outside organizations. I've been able to understand and recognize my strength and bring it up to the table, and unashamedly be able to celebrate other people's work, and recognize that we all have a part to play in this thing. So I celebrate you so much because of what you're doing, because I know that your impact is adding to the entire box of impact that we're going to make. If you stop making impact, someone would not take someone's candle will not be lit. And if someone's candle is not lit, then we are one impact down as a world. We are one
And
impact down. So you want
so
to say
for me,
something?
yes, the first thing you can do easily to volunteer. Today at We
Sorry?
Lead, the first thing you can do is to volunteer. I mean, it's very easy to volunteer. Find an organization that does what aligns with your passion. Today at We Lead, we have over 40 facilitators. And
Mm,
we have almost 50 now working with us. These facilitators are playing different roles. They are playing the roles of assessors in the class. They are taking the roles of teachers, facilitating. Some of them will take the roles of counselors. We have people who are volunteered to manage our media. So these are people who just came into Relief, saw the vision and aligned with the vision and are contributing to it. Another thing you can do is to find the tools in your hand. What can you do?
I
Like I
like
said, I
that.
started writing. And I mean, I moved from the advocacy point to the service end of impact. Right now, we are meeting the needs of people. I started by advocating, speaking. But what will speaking do without action? Eventually, you need to take action. Started writing for a while, making known our intentions, building our intentions in the mind of people, getting people to buy into the vision. We started our service end of impact. So whatever tools is in your hand, whether it's art, it's music, is even relating to people, you can start from where you are and start impacting people. You can start from where you are and start reaching out. You can start from your community and start reaching out. So when you talk about the tools in your hands, you can volunteer. You can also put your money into whatever is happening around you. So there are people who
Yeah.
finance, who are just financiers of projects. They appreciate projects and they put in some of their funds to say, okay, you know what, I believe in what you're doing. I'm not available physically, but I can use my funds to support your project. You can also, support the projects around you by financing them. That is another way to also impact, to be part of the impact that is going on.
Thank you so much, Dayo. Thank you for today. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for pushing through, regardless of the challenges that we had earlier in the show.
Yes.
And it's my pleasure to always welcome you. I know that you'll be glad to come back again and again,
Yes.
on this show when we require you extensively, because this is one series that we're doing, and it will soon end, where we are sharing the chronicles of the impact of the people that we bring on the show. Now we would, further from now, we would be talking topical issues, and in those topical issues there will be, different topical issues that concern impact within our communities that we would need to address. And one of the things that you bring on the table is this impact that you have for boys. And so we are hoping that, when we begin to truly talk topical issues and we are delving into the issues of raising boys and raising responsible boys, then we would love to invite you back to the studio and to the show.
Thank
And
you.
I'm sure you will oblige us again.
I will definitely. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
everything
you
you're
so much.
doing.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said thank you too. Thanks for having me. It was a beautiful
Yes, and
time.
to our viewers, we love you and we are grateful that you're committed to keep watching the show. Thank you for showing up today. We're sorry about all of those challenges that we initially had. Please watch the replay on YouTube and on Facebook. Watch the replay on YouTube and Facebook. Please subscribe to our Facebook YouTube channel. The link is scrolling on the screen right now. And please also, we would love that you follow Mrs. Dayo Oladele-Ilori. Follow our work at We Lead at, it's scrolling on screen at We Lead _network on Instagram. Are you on Facebook? Can they
Yes.
follow you on? Is it the same
Yeah.
name?
Yes, we need
It's the
network
same
on
name
Facebook.
on Facebook. So We Lead Network on Facebook and on Instagram. Please follow her and just send your love to her. And also you can find out if you're interested in raising boys. You could talk to her, and you probably want to volunteer with what she's doing. Well done again, and we hope
And
that this that you're raising will tomorrow become great army of responsible citizens that, like I said, we can trust our girls with, and we are not afraid that they would abuse and molest them. Thank you everyone for tuning in again. Until next time, next Tuesday, 12 noon, when we would be having another wonderful, wonderful guest before this show, with me on the next show. the next episode, sorry, we'll be having another amazing guest. And incidentally, he will also be talking about something to do with parenting, but of course, in a broader perspective, he'll be talking about parenting. So please, if you were on the show right now, you watch the replay, come back next week. We are going to have an amazing time next week, and I'll be unveiling our guests maybe tomorrow. So I'll be sharing about our guests from tomorrow. Thank you again, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Grateful,
Thank
and we love you, and we
love you.
wish you well.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, we love you too. Remember, everyday people can make impact every day. Leave your impact. Leave your impact. There is no time. Leave it now. Don't wait till you're 50 or 40. Leave your impact now. Thank you. I'm signing off. My name is Isioma Success Olugbenga, and this is the Impact Live Show. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye.